Hello everyone, welcome back on my channel guys. I am Ramkesh Singh, Unity game developer, YouTuber and blogger. Today topic we are going to talk about a very important topic. Currently we are in December 2024 and this video is going to be a very important for I think upcoming 5 to 10 years because most of things have been updated. So please watch carefully, and I was getting lots of questions on in the comment as well as on my Discord channel. So I decided to share my experience, my expertise on this. If you don't know me, so I'm Ramkesh Singh, having 7 years of experience in Unity game development. So I share tutorials on here on my YouTube channel, and you will get various kind of tutorials related to Unity on AR, VR, multiplayer. The today topic is Unity Multiplayer SDKs for games and metaverse. So I'll provide that which SDK I have worked, which are the SDK, what are the pros, what are the cons, what will be very expensive, what will be less expensive. I will share on the basis of my experience. This PDF I will provide here if you have become the Patreon page, so you will get free. Otherwise you have to become the Patreon. It really helped me to continue my YouTube channel. You can grab many samples here. So I have created sample here, and here you can see addressable, it is on 2022. Currently we are working on the Unity 6 and there will be lots of things, so we will release here. Basically we release demo here, samples that people can get the benefit, and also I upload on the asset store, but here you will get in cheaper price. So let's start the today video. Hope this introduction will help you to know me. Unity Multiplayer SDK for games and metaverse. So nowadays everyone want to create the multiplayer. Few years back there was craze of single player, but multiplayer is all-rounder, means every time it is much more demanding. But nowadays due to the metaverse it is very much trending nowadays. So in today's tutorial I will explain, and in most of multiplayer SDK I have worked, so my experience will help you to start your project and make the decision, like right decision, that which one is best for you. So if you are starting your project here in 2022 December, so you should start with Unity 6 LTS. And which SDK is better for you? So I will go one by one. First one is Photon PUN 2. This is my favorite one, and it was the king from last 10 years, and I have used in many projects. But what happens, Photon have created few other multiplayer SDK, and Photon PUN 2 is very simple to use, very cheap. You can say like 20 CCU is free, after that you have to pay. But in terms of integration, in terms of anything, you will not spend lots of time to do the Photon PUN 2. And PUN 2 have a really great community, means the most of developer have worked on the PUN 2, and it was very easy, like anyone can work on the PUN 2. There was many components that you have to create for syncing the animation, for movement. So it is great tool. But the issue with it now in 2022, it is maintenance mode. Maintenance mode does not mean that it is deprecated, but it will not release the future new feature in the Photon PUN 2. So if you want to create the quick prototype, so Photon PUN 2 is great. Like you want to show something to the investor, so you can use the Photon PUN 2. It will really not require very much task or work, means easily you will get the resources to create the by using the PUN 2. So it's really great tool, and for the production purpose I will not suggest this, but for the quick prototype you can use it. And in some case that you don't want to expend lots of time, money, so you can use the Photon PUN 2 because you can use in the production also. But the thing is that you will not get the new feature, but there are lots of good thing in the PUN 2. So I think I have created the various many metaverse project on the PUN 2, various games on the PUN 2, created the Ludo project on the PUN 2. So it is really great thing. I think they should release the, if you ask me personally, so I think I will suggest to Photon that they release PUN 2 with new features, new updation. So I love PUN 2, so I provided my feedback on the PUN 2. And nowadays they have released, means they have released earlier, that was the Photon Fusion 1, and after that they released Photon Fusion 2. And a few project I started in Photon PUN 2, and that time it was in development mode. so we did not use, but nowadays whatever I starting my project from last 6 months, so I'm using the Photon Fusion 2. And in Photon Fusion 2 it is really very powerful. This is the plus point. And you are getting the share mode, host mode. So in share mode it is similar to Photon PUN 2, but it is not very much easy as the PUN 2. It is little uh, difficult uh, as compared to PUN 2. But if you are starting your project, and which kind of project can be used for shared mode? If you are creating any metaverse, so shared mode is a best. Like if you want to sync a basic stuff on the network, so shared mode is a best. And it is, you can say, if you compare with host mode and shared mode, so shared mode is a little easy than the host mode, because due to the authority thing. And if you are new on the multiplayer thing, so there is a very important concept, that is the authority. If you are going in Photon PUN 2, so it is much more about the ownership. Like you want to sync any object, like let's suppose in the scene I want to sync, so if I have the authority on this object, so I can sync easily. And when you are coming in the Photon Fusion 2, so there is shared mode and host mode. So in shared mode, the authority, there is a input authority, state authority. So for each player it is very easy to manage the, say, state authority and input authority. And when you come to the host mode, so in host mode it is very complex. And there is a drawback from the Photon, that they have released gaming circle, and I think there is also metaverse circle something. So they have given the documentation, but their documentation is not very much clear, you can say. There are not very much information. They have provided the docs and sample project, so you have to just go through lots of sample project. You want to grab the things. So if you have experience, like I'm working on the host mode, I have worked on the shared mode. Share mode is very easy. In host mode you have to explore a lot. You have to just brainstorm a lot, explore the samples, then you will be able to perform various kind of tasks. But for the basic stuff, host mode means there is no any issue with it. But if you are going to perform a complex thing, so you have to just brainstorm, research, and then you are able to implement. But at this time this is the very powerful tool, but most of their resources is paid, so you have to be very careful. But slowly but surely I'm exploring much more thing. So you can also reach out to me for if you are having any issue with this SDK. Okay, great. After that it is coming the Photon Quantum. So I told you that whenever you are creating the metaverse, share mode is best. But in host mode, if you are creating any games, that is the much more, like you want proper syncing, there is no any lag. So at that time you need the host mode. And in host mode basically you have to deploy the server. And here on the Photon PUN 2 it work on the cloud. It is the Photon cloud, so you have to not deploy any server. In the share mode you have to not deploy any server. It works on the Photon cloud, so you have to just purchase like if you work on the PUN 2, so you have to purchase like 100 CCU and 200 CCU on the basis of your requirement. In the host mode you have to also purchase, as well as you have to also deploy the server. So it is also, if you talking about in terms of price and your spend, so I think host mode will be a little expensive for me, but the performance wise host mode will be better. Okay, so if you are creating any racing game, FPS kind of game, so host mode is best. And here is the Photon Quantum. So I have not used it, few friends have used it. So they suggest that if you want very much physics in your environment and you don't want any lag, so if your work is not getting work in the host mode, so at that time you have to work on the Photon Quantum. So it is much more about the physics. I have not worked on this, so I have not very much knowledge about it, but if I will get the opportunity I will explore it. And here it comes the Normcore. So Normcore is also a very important thing. Basically Normcore uh, got created, means this company got created after the PUN 2. They were using the PUN 2 and they were facing some issue, so it started they started the Normcore. And in terms of, you can say, you want the quick prototype as well as you want the smaller application, you want the metaverse kind of project, so Normcore is also best. In terms of price, it is also very best, like you on the $20 you will get much more scope to use your application. So I also love the Normcore. If you are the individual, you don't have the very much money, you don't have lots of resources, and you want the basic stuff like the metaverse, so Normcore will be best for you. And it is really suggested that you are starting your project for VR AR, so Normcore is best. But in VR, if you are creating the fighting games and you want a very fast simulation, so at that time Normcore will not help. But for the basic stuff, Normcore is best, and for price wise it is also very best. So for Normcore, it is a thumbs up. And here we come the fifth SDK, and I'm providing whatever I think that maybe something that you are not able to understand, because I am the developer, so sometimes it is not very easy that no, what normal person is thinking. Like I think that if I know, somebody maybe know. But if you have any specific question, you can let me know in the comment box. Also you can message me on my Discord channel as well as on my Patreon page. After that we comes to Unity Netcode for game objects. So if you love the hierarchy of Unity, like you want to work under the umbrella of Unity, so Unity Netcode is really best option for you. And it is also need deployment of server. So basically you can use Unity gaming service to deploy the Unity Netcode. And if you are confused with the Photon Fusion 2 host mode and Unity Netcode for game objects, so I will suggest that if your game required very powerful and you have lots of money, like you are a big studio, so at that time you can go with the Fusion 2 host mode. And but if you are below that one and you want something to deploy and you want the server client architecture, so at that time Unity Netcode is also best. So Fusion 2 host mode and Unity Netcode is my favorite one if you want to deploy in 2024 2025. So for the coming years it will also best. So these are the great stuff, like you want to client architecture. And here is the mirror. So basically if you are starting your project here 2025 24 or 26, so at this time I think you should choose from this. Like if you want client server architecture, so you have to choose Photon Fusion 2 host mode, or you can choose this one, Unity Netcode for game object. Mirror is also great tool if you have working experience and you have resources. Basically Mirror have also very good resources, you can go for it. But I think this two stuff is getting much more update and much more resources, like people started working on this. So I think for the future it will be best. But if it is personal choice for Mirror, so there is no any issue with it, but you should go for this two stuff. And here Unity PlayFab multiplayer servers with Azure. So I have heard that many people used, like in my previous company, so I heard from senior that they are using this game thing like PlayFab multiplayer SDK with Azure, but I have not used it, so I have not much more knowledge about it. But ever this stuff I have worked, so I provided my working experience, that which one will be best for you. Miss one thing, that is the voice chat SDK. So whenever you are using the Photon any SDK, so at that time you should use voice chat to SDK. And one thing I'm sharing with you, that whenever you are using any SDK, like you are using the PUN 2 Photon Fusion 2 shared mode, so for the CCU you have to buy for the SDK one your space, as well as you have to also buy for Photon voice chat 2 separately, like whatever CC you want to buy. So you have to always remember this thing. And after that, here is the VVox. So basically whenever you are going to use for Mirror or Unity Netcode, so at that time for the voice chatting you should use the VVox. And whenever you are using the Normcore, so Normcore also provides the voice SDK. So there is no any issue with the Normcore. So these are the voice SDK, because you are creating any multiplayer or metaverse, so there will be required to create the you can say uh, voice chatting. And for the lip syncing, there is a lip sync package on the Unity asset store, so you can use like whatever your avatar will be speak on the multiplayer, it will lip sync. So lip sync is a very important uh, SDK, you can say plugin, and that is available on the Photon on the Unity asset store. Okay, and if you are using the Ready Player Me, so by default they provide the lip syncing thing. And Mirror is also client server client architecture, so you have to also deploy anywhere. And if you want that what are the platforms where we can deploy, so I can create another tutorials, but I thought that I should share that which multiplayer SDK we choose and what are the pros, what are the cons, and basically how multiplayer SDKs work. Like someone can create the cloud, and then they can create the multiplayer SDK like the Photon PUN 2, shared mode Fusion 2. So these are the cloud based, like company have created their own cloud, and from there they have hosted, so you have to directly use it. And there are server client architectures, so like Photon Fusion 2 host mode, and Unity Netcode Mirror. So in this case you have to deploy your server, and for deploying there are Hathauda, there are various like UGC Unity Gaming Service. So on those platform you can just deploy your gaming thing. Okay, so for the metaverse project, always go for prototype PUN 2, for application shared mode. And if you don't have that much budget, so you should go with Normcore. So this is my advice. And if you want to know any much more stuff, you want to any help, you want to create your application, you want me to work on your applications, you can also let me know in the comment, as well as you can reach out to me on my Discord channel. So that's it, and thanks for watching. Have a good day. See you in next video. Hope this video will help you to make the choice. So thanks for watching. Have a good day. See you in next video.